The Artisan Colour, we print, Dibond almost daily, I would say. We use it for anything from fine art prints to point of purchase displays to corporate signage, lettering. There's hardly ever a day where there's no Dibond on our printer tables. It's one of the main reasons we love using Dibond, because these flatbed printers, they zip over that material at high speed and less than a millimeter away from the surface, and the fact that it is so uniform and prints and cuts so easy is why we use it. We have a Zund digital router, so after we print, we pop the material over on the router table, and there we can actually cut it, score it. We've gotten into some projects where we do the sort of half-depth cut and then fold it into boxes for three-dimensional displays. There really is no problem at all. The guys in the shop love cutting it because it is so clean. We do a lot of work for it's a tint company called Suntech, and so we actually do point of purchase displays for them. There are countertop displays where we print on Dibond. It's usually like a car of some sort that's somewhat contour cut. And then on that same material, we use various layers of white that we print to it, and then they put their tint material over it. So the customer can walk up to it and actually interact with the piece and say, oh, well, if I buy this tint, it gets this dark. If I buy this tint, it gets that dark. That's one thing that we use for a commercial application. Others, of course, are somewhat the reorders of corporate signage. We do a lot of in-store signage. I have one that's like a vape store. They do e-cigarette juice, and they do a ton of these branded little signs that they send throughout all their franchises in the US. So the list goes on. A 19-year history of color accuracy and print reproduction. So the fact that it's a tough material and it's very uniform, it always comes the same way, the grain's always the same, the texture is the same. So we love the fact that it is very predictable, and for fine art reproduction, that's super important to us. And working with it from a durability perspective, we have some artists that produce exterior works, and they will actually have these things hanging out by a pool or maybe in a garden, and we know that Dibond is tough enough to withstand that because it's technically a building material. It's used to clad skyscrapers, so we're pretty sure that it can handle art. We do recommend it when we see abstracts, when we see really kind of cool artistic renditions. If I see the right image, I certainly steer my clients toward trying it, because what they often don't realize is that on the computer you'll see your image backlit and you're used to seeing it that way, or you see it printed on a white page and it's like, okay, well, this is how exactly it looks. But when we print without the white ink on our printers, allowing the silver to come through, it takes on a life of its own. So then soon they realize, like, oh wow, now I'm getting totally different effects. So when I see the right image, when they bring us a digital asset, and if it works, if I can kind of see that it works on Dibond, I always recommend it. At least try it once. And once they do, most of our customers, they fall in love with it. And then they're like, oh wow, this is a whole new product line for me now.